Ya. Ya, Gurudev. Oh, Prabhu. No, no. Merry Christmas.
I'm
How
here
are you, Maharaj?
with Santa Claus.
Yeah, Ay.
Reindeer antlers.
Bhagavati.
Oh yeah, good. We got
Reno.
we have Santa Claus and the reindeer.
Priyatama, tree.
Yeah.
How are you, Maharaj?
I'm good, Prabhu. Thank you.
Happy to see you and Kesha Prabhu. Happy to see you.
All well there? Everybody's well?
Yes, Maharaj, sorry today meeting late because indeed me in the street uh, i- con home late today. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, everyone's late today. Uma Devi also just coming now.
Okay. Uma Devi.
Evo, Dandavats, Uma Devi, Ki Jai.
Sorry, Maharaj, I'm late.
That's
Dandavati.
Haribo.
all happy.
yeah. You see, we have Santa Claus and the three reindeer.
Oh. Santa Claus, give me please, ¿cómo es? Regalo, ¿no? ¿Cómo se dice regalo en inglés? Present. Letter for Santa Claus. Give me present.
This year we're using Amazon instead of the sleigh. We'll send on Amazon.
Okay, thank you. Dice que la va a enviar por Amazon. Thank you, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Basta Santa Claus.
Santa means Shanta. Okay, so maybe we'll start our Vandana.
Okay, Maharaj.
Dr. Linda can't come today. You can send her your prayers. Her relative is not feeling very well, and she's wants to stay with her.
Dice el Maharaj sobre Linda, que las oraciones para que la Linda se recupere.
Vandeham Sri Guru
Shri Guru
Padakamalam
Guru
Guru Vaishnavamsa
Shri
Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Nitam Tam Sajivam
Advaitam
Advaitam Savadutam Harijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam
Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna
Deva
Padam
Krishna
Sahagana Lalita
Shri Radha
Sakaranitam
Krishna
Cha Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Puja
Puja
Shri
Sri
Guru
Guru
Varga
Paramahංsa
Purita Mahabhavanitaya Sada Purva Pravya Parampara Prachalita Prajna Pramuktachita Bhakti Nirmala Nirjanasya Nishtam Samrakam Sadaram Vande Sri Gurudevam Ananta Sri Acharya Varamujam
Korvavista
Pavitra Saprakam Guru Gani Asita Sambhoshitam Chinta Chirada Samasta Veda Nipunam Sri Rupa Pantanagam
Govinda
Govindam Ujjalam Varantanam Pashyanita Sundaram
Vande
Vande Vishwagurum Cha Divya Bhagavate Premunam Vidyapadam
Devam Divyat
Divyatanam Vrindavanam Malarkacharitam Dharananda Param Siddhikam Vairagya Vidya Buddhim
Shri
Siddhanta Buddhim Shivaprayam Saraswatim Varan Vande Vetam Subhadram Madhyeka Sharanam Dayatam Sarapinaram
Shri Siddhanta Saraswati
Siddhanta Saraswati Vidita Vidya Garbhaniyate Vata Priya Prabhuta Gaganavyo Gaura Sankirtana Sahitanaya Mayavadati Bingalodara Natiruddhara Jivanam Krishna Prema Samudgana Sakam Prabhum Tam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kisaraya Bhakti Vidottamurtaye Gaura Hari Padma Bringaya Radha Bhavani Kevale
Shri Bhakti
Vande Bhakti Vinodam Sri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastrajnakam Radha Rasa Sudanidam
Gaurvaja
Gaura Vajastesya
Vaishnava
Vaishnaver Vande Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhum Vande Premadri Vrija Vaishnavam
Vanshakapa
Kalpatarubhavasya Kripa Sindhu Vairvacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhakyatam Namami Bhaktasakritam Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Name Gaurapite Namaha
Jayatam
Jayatam Suratam Pango Mama Mandamatirgati Vatsarvasva Padam Mujo Radha Madana Mohana
Divya
Vrindaranaya Kalpadrumadaya Srimad Ratnarasimha Gandharva Govinda Dev Prestadi Swaminam Smarami
Manrasa
Rasa Rasamha वंशीवताततासितः दर्शन्वेन स्वयनिर्गोपी गोपीनाथास्यास्तु नः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्मिता कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः नत्वा मंत्रं गुरुर्भागवतार्थदान् व्यासान् जगद्गुरुन्नाथो ततो जयमुदीरते जय परिकरति श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्व गोविंद पादपद्मानां जयसो
Shri
कृष्ण
Krishna
चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Shri Guru Maharaj, Shri Gurudev, Shri Acharya Dev, Shri Santa Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Salabeda Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
जय
Yedi Govardhan ki jai.
जय
Assembled, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the worldwide devotees. Lord Premanandi, Hari Hari.
हरि हरि बोल
Sripad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Jaya Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivraj, Acharya Satara Shri Srimad Bhakti Rakshak Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam ki jai.
जय
Today we're reading chapter 6, words of nectar from the devotees, Bhakti-Yoga, words of nectar from the devotees. And this is on Goptrtve-varanam, embracing the Lord's guardianship. Of the 6 principles of surrender, this is considered the most significant because it embraces all the others. Basically, it means embracing the Lord's guardianship means accepting Gurudev as the guardian of your life, your spiritual life. Surrender to the lotus feet of Gurudev. Hey Krishna, pahimam matata, kripayat margatam kuru, ityevam parthanam krishnam, praptam swami swarupataha, Goptrtve-varanam yeham, bhaktar vidyataram param, prapat yekart yekartaket katvena, tad agnitvena tat smritam. O Krishna, please protect me. My dear Lord, kindly accept me as your own. Such a prayer, as well as the prayer to obtain Sri Krishna as one's Lord and Master, is a supreme solace to the hearts of the pure devotees, and is known by them as Goptrtve-varanam, embracing the Lord's guardianship. Because it expresses one and the same ideal as unconditional surrender, Goptrtve-varanam is accepted as the chief of the 6 limbs of surrender.
Who said that?
Huh?
Who said this?
I'm sorry?
Who said this?
Who said it?
Yeah, who verses?
I think this is composed probably by Srila Maharaja.
Huh.
The whole of Vaishnava Siddhanta, whole mood, whole aim, whole purpose, the whole beginning, everything contained in this conception. One can make this the center of one's life, of one's meditation, of one's endeavor. That Krishna is the guardian, the protector, everything of one's life. The whole life is meant to be centered upon Krishna and his service and his satisfaction. And we do that practically in this world through the representation of Gurudev. We accept that Krishna comes to us in the form of Gurudev to guide us, lead us back to his service world, where he is the center and we are the servitors. The material world, we don't know who we're serving, so everyone is serving themselves or serving somebody else and forgetting our real service mood is to Krishna. That is freedom from illusion. To forget Krishna means Maya or illusion. To remember him is the ultimate perfection of life. To remember him and serve him, give our whole hearts, body, mind, everything for his satisfaction. That will give absolute satisfaction and fulfillment to the living entity. Only that. Everyone is looking for pleasure. So Krishna is telling us, here's where it is, here's where it lies. Here's where your highest pleasure will lie. Hare Krishna. This is Mahaprabhu's gift to the world. To teach us this love of God. By the mercy of Guru Parampara, and the example of our teachers, great teachers, we can try to follow this ideal and make our life perfect. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 3. Sri Bhagavato Bhakta Pavanaistraya Parthanam Ainanda Tanoja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishameva Bambudo Vipayatava Parakankaja Stita Duli Sadrisham Vichintaya. This is one of the Shikshastakam verses spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Appearing as his own devotee, the Supreme Lord displays himself. The Supreme Lord himself prays for refuge. O Nanda Nandana, the son of King Nanda, although I am your eternal servitor, I have fallen into the terrible ocean of material existence due to the fructification of my own deeds, karma. Please graciously consider me to be a particle of dust at your lotus feet. When Sanatan Goswami asked Mahaprabhu, Kayami, in Bengali, who am I? Mahaprabhu immediately told him, Jivara Svarapoy Krishna Nitidas. Jivara Tatasta Shakti, Beda Beda Prakash. Very easy, very simple, very straightforward. That you are eternal servant of Krishna. That's your real identity. That's who you are. The nature of that jiva is that he is my tatastha Shakti, one and different from me. Krishna's energy is one and different from Krishna. The same and different. Just like on the ocean, and when the ocean meets the beach, there's a line between the water and the land. One is water, one is land. And that line between them, that's called tatastha. So the jiva is situated like that, between Krishna and the material energy. One and different. When Krishna comes in touch with the material energy through the jiva has a choice to either forget Krishna and identify with the material energy over which he thinks he is the Lord, or to remember Krishna and surrender to him and become the servant of the Lord. Excuse me. He has a choice to lord it over nature or to submit to the real Lord of all creation. Submit as a humble servant and give up his desire to be the Lord and surrender to the Lord, submit to the Lord. And very important, the devotee about Krishna doesn't think of the Lord as some kind of God, Lord of everything. Here is explained, oh Nanda Nanda. Devotee is thinking of Krishna as the son of King Nanda, the cowherd king, king of the cows, and the son of the king of the cows. Not thinking of Krishna in some kind of mighty position. He's thinking of him in a very humble and down-to-earth way. Simple, beautiful way. A very loving way. That kind of very sweet relationship between the devotee and the Lord is there. That's not the result of knowledge or thinking of all these things, all this philosophical understanding. Is a very intimate understanding, heart-to-heart understanding. Very tender. Tender love between the Lord and his devotee. Sri Krishna, Jai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarva Sadguna Vigraha Atma Prado Harer Eva Goptrtve-varanam Ka Panditas Tavad Tad Panditas Tvad Aparam Sharanam Samiyad Bhakta Priyad Ritta Kvita Kviha Srida Kvitanjat Sarvan Dadati Sudro Vajato Bikaman Atmanam up Upachaya Payachayo no Yasya Akuradas, Vimara Akur Rasraya. Only the self-giving Lord Sri Hari, the supreme good, should be petitioned for guardianship. You give your affection to your devotees. Your word is truth. You are the ever grateful friend. Can any intelligent person thus take refuge in anyone but you? You fulfill all the desires of the sincere souls that serve you, giving your very self to them, and yet you are neither augmented nor diminished thereby. Devotees are giving themselves to Krishna entirely, and yet Krishna is giving himself entirely to his devotees. There is a equal, giving involved in relating to Krishna. You are giving to Krishna, and Krishna is giving to you in equal proportion. Reciprocal. Yatamam prapadyante tam sadaiva bhajamyaham. Krishna says in the Gita, as you surrender to me, I reward you accordingly. Very high conception, a self and a supreme self, one and different. They're one and yet they're different. Thus, by giving ourselves to Krishna, Krishna is also giving himself to us. We're seeing some kind of identity there. Some kind of oneness. It's not a one-sidedness. That's a oneness that is a two-ness. A two-ness that is a oneness. Sometimes, all the time, actually, people in the material consciousness, they forget that one is an abstraction, abstract concept. The one really means not to. It's negation of duality. Advaita means the negation of two. That the absolute is not abstract one, but he is to be understood in a concrete way as a negation of the other. So we are connected with Krishna through the negation of ourself, and Krishna is connected with us through the negation of himself. Krishna, Prabhupada used to explain that Krishna has two words in Sanskrit. Karshna and Na. Karshna means attraction, and Na means giving. Giving himself is attracting us and giving us something. Just like the stomach. The hand gives food to the stomach, but the stomach is giving nourishment to the hand. So like that. The relationship of the living entity to the Lord is something like that. He's giving to the Lord everything. And everything is coming from the Lord to him, to the devotee. All the reservoir of pleasure. All pleasure is found in Krishna. And by serving Krishna, we get the benefit also. And as much as we are looking for the benefit, we lose. We lose. As long as we are looking for our own pleasure, we lose that reciprocal relation. We lose that connection. And it becomes one-sided. And we're cut off. Very delicate, loving relationship. Those who can enter into the mysteries of love, they can understand what's going on here. The heart exchange. How the heart exchanges its feelings one for the other. That's what this is about. Loving exchange between the Lord and his devotee. The mentions here the Lord is neither augmented nor diminished by his relationship with his devotees because Krishna is everything. He's the complete whole. Om Purnam. Purnam means whole, the complete whole. Om Purnam. And from the whole, another whole can come, and there's no loss. Just like the fire, the candle. Candle can light so many different candles without becoming diminished by its own brightness. Candle doesn't lose anything by giving fire to the other candles. So like that, Krishna is the Purnam, complete. But what can he lose by giving completeness to others? By giving himself, rather, to others, complete self. He doesn't lose anything. That's his mystical power. No. Not so inconceivable, though, when we think of the candle. Candle can do that, so why can't Krishna do that? Number 5, Sri Krishna Charanam Eva Prapanam Tatapahari Suravarshi Ataparam Atapatram Tapa Trayena Bihatastakore Santapyamanasya Pavadvan As Isha Pashyami Nanyat Charanam Tavangri Dvandvat Tapatrad Amitabi Varshat Sri Udavasya on Uddhava Prabhu. The lotus feet of Lord Krishna are the umbrella to vanquish the suffering of his surrendered soul and shower nectar upon them. O Master, for persons afflicted by the triple miseries in this ghastly course of material existence, I see no other shelter but the umbrella of your holy lotus feet, from which the rain of eternal nectar showers down. Interesting metaphor. Krishna is the shelter from the rain. Umbrella means it shelters you from the rain, and yet he's also being as the source of the rain. Is this umbrella that protects us from the rain, And he is also the source of the rain. So the meaning is that he protects us from the rain of the material energy, influence of the material energy, and gives us the source of the spiritual rain of nourishment of his love and mercy from above. So sometimes in the Vedas, we find contradictory statements. How can somebody be both the shelter and the source of rain? Be both the umbrella and the rain at the same time. So we have to understand the umbrella is from the rain of material nature. Just like in the Veda, we'll find sometimes it says that God is formless. The absolute is formless. And then another place will say it has anantaru, infinity of forms. Then which is it? Is he formless or has an infinite number of forms? There's both. He's formless in the sense of material nature. He has no form, no material form. But his form is spiritual, and that is endless, infinite. Endless spiritual forms and no material forms is the meaning of Vedic seemingly contradictory statement that God is both formless and also has form. Formless means no material form, not that he has no form. When the Vedas are instructing the conditioned souls, they don't want them to think of Krishna as having a material form, as some people do. So they say he's formless in that sense. He doesn't have any material form. And when in the higher level, they want the devotee to understand that the Lord has form, and they can relate to that form. They're speaking in the spiritual sense. So sometimes when we see contradictory things, we have to understand it properly according to material and spiritual considerations. Srila Maharaj used to say absolute and relative considerations. Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam Rantahanasya Pranatag Charanashrayam Eva Abhaya Shokamrita Pradam Chiram Iha Vijanartastapamano Ruchapire Dvitriship Sad Amrito Amitro Labdar Shanti Katanchit Sharanada Samupetas Tvat Padamjam Paratman Abhayamritam Ashokam Bhayi Mapanam Isha Mukunda Shaya. By the word in the previous verse, it said for persons afflicted by the triple miseries of material existence. You know what that is? The three miseries of material existence?
Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika, Maharaj.
Yes, Mataji.
Maharaj.
Adi Bhautik, Adi Daiva, Adi Atma. You know that, what that is? Ahayanandaji.
Okay, Maharaj.
You know what that is? The three miseries, Adibautic, Adidaivic, Adiyatmic.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, it's
You
not
know,
the three misery of the in the material world, no?
yes.
Misery, mind, author. Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, okay. So now, text number 6. With a disturbed soul who is flogged by his 6 enemies, only the shelter of the lotus feet of his natural master awards him immortality and fearlessness and sorrowlessness. O Supreme Soul, for time immemorial in this material world, I have been tormented with sin, stung with remorse, and constantly harassed by my 6 insatiable enemies, the 5 senses and the mind. O gracious awarder of shelter, somehow I have come before your holy lotus feet, which are the embodiment of fearlessness, sorrowlessness, and positive immortality. My master, please protect this one distress. Mukunda, Muchakunda, sorry. So for the materially conditioned soul, the 5 senses and the mind are his enemies. Why? Because they are entangling him in material activities and affairs of the material world. This is how we become entangled through our senses and the mind. We become entangled with the world through these things. So they are actually enemies for the conditioned soul. For the soul who is dedicating his life to Krishna, they become his means, the means by which he can serve Krishna. They're no longer enemies. They become his friend. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, for one who can control the mind, it is his best friend. And for one who cannot control the mind, it is his worst enemy. So control of the mind means that the mind is always thinking of Krishna, always surrendered to Krishna, always thinking of serving, always knowing that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, and thereby engaging his senses and his mind always in activities that are dedicated to the Supreme Lord. Then they become the means, the friends. Our Guru Varga teaches that bhakti means engaging the senses, not renouncing the senses, but engaging the senses in devotional service. That is bhakti.
We told that mantra means mana atara.
Oh.
Mantra, mana atara, controlling the mind through chanting holy name.
Mana atara means actually releasing the mind. Mind's attachment to material nature has to be released from that and attached to Krishna. Govind Maharaj used to say, Krishna needs only one thing. He's given his whole mind to Radharani. So he only needs one thing. He needs our mind. So we have to give our mind to Krishna because he already lost his in giving it to Radharani. Like that. Once the mind is in the right place, then the senses will follow. Because the mind is the king of the senses, is the ruler over the senses. Higher than the senses is the mind. And higher than the mind is the intelligence. And higher than the intelligence is the ego, as the self. So by controlling the mind and the intelligence and the ego, the self, we can go back to our home, the service world. We are eternal servants of Krishna, and everyone and everything. The environment and everyone is serving Krishna. And in that world, then the senses and mind are all friendly to us. They're our friends. They're helping us, they're assistants, giving us assistance and serving Krishna. There we can make our enemies our friends. The embodiment of fearlessness. Lotus feet are the embodiment of fearlessness, sorrowlessness, and immortality. Abhay Charande, huh? Prabhupada's name, Abhay Charan. Fearless at the lotus feet of the Lord here means Abhay Charan. Abhay means fearless. Charan feet. Huh? De means the Lord. Abhay Charan De. A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta. Abhay Charan. Fearlessness. We cannot understand Prabhupada's mood, Prabhupada's mind, when he got on that ship that coming to America. An old man, nothing, a few books, a few rupees in his pocket. The health was not even in good condition. And he got on that ship to come to America without a second thought. Oh, what will happen to me? How will I survive? How will I do it? Only thinking, Krishna, my Guru Dev told me to do this, and I'm going to do it. No other thought, no other consideration. Hare
Krishna.
Abhay Charande. What an example he has set for us all, huh? In the Christian religion, there's a time when Christ was in the garden with his disciples, and he was seeing the future while he was there in the garden with his disciples. And he could see that was going to happen to him, that he was going to have to undertake these great punishment. What do you call it? Torment. He's going to be tormented so much and put to death. He knew he would have to carry that heavy wooden cross on his shoulder up the mountain called Golgotha. You could see that. He was going to, they put the crown of thorns on his head, crush it into his skull, bleeding. And then going up that mountain, so many times he fell and got up again because he could hardly bear the weight. And everyone was mocking him and spitting on him, calling him a criminal and making fun of him. And when he got to the top, they cruelly crucified him. Very cruel kind of punishment. With nailed to the cross. And there, crucifixion is a very slow death. The weight of your body and your hands out, his arms outstretched, and the weight of the body pulls down while your hands are out like that, and it suffocates the person. They stop breathing, they can't breathe anymore. That's the kind of death, the crucifixion. And he saw all that while he was in the garden. And he prayed, "Oh, dear Lord, if it is your will, please let this pass, this cup pass from my lips." He prayed like that. "Please do not let me have to drink this cup of poison, this cup of suffering." He understood. And yet he went ahead and underwent all those things. Prabhupada came and he did not know what would be the result of his coming or how he would survive or anything. He wasn't thinking even of suffering. All these thoughts didn't even come to his mind. He only thought, this is my Gurudev's mission, wish, and I want to fulfill it. And Krishna will provide everything else. It's up to him now. I've given myself completely, and everything else is up to him now. Now he can use me like a puppet on a string. He's pulling the strings, and I'm just a puppet dancing. If you want to make me dance, I will dance. If you want to make me crumble to the floor, I will crumble to the floor. It's all in your hands. Somehow he was able to see himself in that position. And Sridhara told one time, he said, Prabhupada made himself so empty. He emptied himself completely that Krishna had to come and fill him with his mercy. So the embodiment of fearlessness, sorrowlessness, and positive immortality. Hri Bol Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I think we'll stop. Oh, you got your Santa Claus. Okay, good. Very good.
Friend.
You have a Christmas tree? I see in the background. Is that a Christmas tree?
Sí, yes, Maharaja in the street. Yeah. Why?
Anyhow, my wishes for you for a good, happy Christmas, vacation, holiday.
Thank you.
Please be well, be safe. My love to you.
I love you.
I love you, Maharaja. I love you, devotee.
I love you.
Happy Christmas.
Oh.
Haribo. Jai Gurudev. Jai devotee.